single just now.
Oh no! Son of a bitch.
You get your turn?
Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course, and today I've got a replay from Mouth. Mouth 1313, so you might remember him. I've featured him here in a few videos. Usually we're divisioned up and, just rocking out. But today Mouth has a solo video. He sent me in the replay, so thank you so much for doing so. Anyone else has any replays they want to send me, please just send them in. I've got my email address in the comments below. So you can see we are on New Dawn today. In terms of matchmaking, it looks pretty good. Tier 6 seems to be the highest tier, and Mouth is in his New Mexico. That New Mexico looks awfully beautiful, does it not? I know I might gripe about the American battleships being so slow, but they definitely get marks for looking awesome. The clipper bow there, cutting through the water, looks awesome. So looking around the map here, we can see that Mouth did ask for a Cleveland buddy to hang out with him, provide some AA cover. Unfortunately, no one really, answered the call there, but you can see it is going to work out nicely for Mouth anyway. So the team is sort of dispersing evenly. Now I'm saying that now because I know later on they are fairly evenly dispersed, but for right now it doesn't necessarily look like it. The majority of the team does seem to be going towards the north, where Mouth, and we haven't seen him yet, but there is a Furutaka who's nearby to Mouth, and he kind of stays with Mouth for most of the battle, up until he dies anyway. What I wanted to look at in this video, and what I found really amazing about the video, now not only the damage done at the end of the video, I'll give you those figures here when we get there, but more importantly, the ability of American battleships to dodge torpedoes. The American battleship ability to dodge torpedoes plus the skill of the player behind the battleship, right? So it's not only the battleship here that's dodging the torps. Mouth is playing a big part in here as well. So you can see 6 torpedoes are on their way. They were just launched by those dive bombers. Sorry for the bit of lag here. Mouth had mentioned when he sent in the replay that it is a little jittery at the start, and that's what we're seeing here. It is going to clear up, so just bear with it for now. That was an amazing torpedo dodge right there. That was so close. I don't know if the screen was staggering around when Mouth was playing, but wow, that was really a nice dodge. Got very lucky there. Now we can see Mouth lining up here. His first shot, there it goes. Believe it's a Phoenix, and those shots land, and they do about 7,665 damage. So that is a very nice shot. As I had mentioned in some earlier videos, when you come across an Omaha or a Phoenix like that, they're really, really easy to do a whole lot of damage to if you've got some nice high caliber guns with armor piercing loaded. You'll do one of two things. Well, I guess one of three things. First thing, you'll miss. Second thing is you'll do what Mouth did here. You're not actually going to hit any citadels, but you're going to do a whole whack of damage. The third thing is that you'll hit a citadel, and I think for every citadel hit, it's about 10,000 damage. So you've got, what is that, a 66% chance of doing some massive damage there to Omahas and Phoenixes. So keep that in mind. We've talked about it before, but, especially when you're coming across these ships, and if you're in the higher tier like Mouth is today in his New Mexico, definitely something that is worthwhile shooting at, and hopefully, getting the kill and taking out. Now looking at the map and the team dispersion, I found this a little strange because normally on New Dawn here, everyone will fight in the south. I find when I was going through these maps in the earlier tiers, everyone always went to the south and fought. It was always a big brawl down here. But in today's game, you can see that most of the team is in the middle of the map and somewhere in the north of the map. Down here in the south, we've got Mouth, we've got the Furutaka, we've got a Kawachi, and there might be two other guys there, I guess. So not too bad at all. But really, the only people who stay down here with Mouth is going to be the Furutaka. The remainder of the allies do kind of split off and do their own thing. which works out quite nicely. Now, looking at the overall score so far, it's not too bad at all. 2-0. So excellent job by the team. There was another massive hit by Mouth. That was 14,910 damage. So not too shabby at all. And I believe that that was a New Mexico that he had hit there. So that's excellent. Just on a side note, in case anyone was wondering why, sometimes every now and then I don't get the name of the ship or the type of the ship right, the preview window that I have in my editing software is fairly small, so I'm trying to remember from when I watch the replay, and I'm, trying to associate it. I'm not always able to do it. Still fairly early in the morning, and I'm only on my second cup of coffee, so that's why. Now, getting back to the battle. You can see Mouth is coming into these islands here. This is normally the place where the sea point is located on this map, but also where the majority of the battle takes place, or the fighting takes place. Not necessarily in this game, though. You can see Mouth right now is alone. He's got himself and the Furutaka. We see him right there. But the Kwachi and the other two allies, as I mentioned, have split off now, and they're kind of doing their own thing. Probably didn't work out for them, as there are 2 deaths. Not sure which who died, but we'll say it was one of them. Now, putting more shots into these guys, and we're going to start using. You can see the island coming up here. Mouth is going to be using this as cover, which is always a great call to do. Some people might be inclined to take the port turn there and go straight through those 2 islands, but not Mouth. He switches it to starboard, and he's moving in behind the islands to take advantage of the cover. It's always something you want to try and do. These islands, they're not just there so that we don't have an open ocean map like Ocean. They're actually there for you to use strategically. In case you didn't know, they are meant for you to use as cover, dodge in and out of, and hopefully avoid shots. So keep that in mind, and you can see it doesn't matter what class of ship you're in. I've done it in my cruisers, my destroyers. You can see Mouth doing it here in his battleship. Any class of ship can take advantage. Another important note, especially on this New Dawn map, but there's also a lot of other maps that offer it as well. With these low-lying islands like this, you can shoot right over those islands. Don't be afraid to do it. At the very least, you might be too close, and some of your shots might actually hit the island, but others might make it over and do some damage to the enemy. So it's always advantageous if you think you can get your shot over to take the shot. Why not? Some ships have longer reloads than others, obviously, but if you've got if you're in the situation where it makes sense to do it, do it. Take the chance. It's only a game, and at the end of the day, if you hit them, that's great. You're going to do damage. If not, whatever. At least you were able to range in the shot, so your next one is going to hit. So we're putting out some more salvos here, and we're coming around the island now. So at this point, that was also a nice shot, some critical damage there. But at this point, you can see Mouth is alone. The Furutaka that was with Mouth unfortunately didn't follow his lead and go behind the island and for the cover, and was killed. And that's why I wanted to talk about the cover a little, because you can see what happens when you don't use the cover. You die. So a few incoming shots here, no big deal. Mel still has lots of health, and still putting in consistent shots here. So Mouth is now getting closer to the enemy cap, and to where the majority of the enemy is sort of holed up at this time. So nice citadel shot there. Did some great damage on that one. I've got it marked down, but I don't know which one it was. But oh well. Important thing here, see this Isokaze that just popped up? This guy is going to be the bane of Mouth's existence for the remainder of the battle. I mean, the Furutaka, or not the Furutaka, sorry, the Isokaze really played a nice game in trying, you'll see in what he's going to do here shortly, but in trying to take out Mouth. But it just wasn't meant to be. 2 citadel shots there. Now that one I did mark down. That was 23,100 damage, I believe. So that was nice, and not too bad at all. Getting back to the Isokaze, yeah, he was playing a nice game. He has 3 torpedo launchers, and I really like the fact that he was shooting 2 off at the same time, holding 1 in reserve just in case. So that was nice to see. But ultimately, you know, Mouth just showed this guy up and was able to dodge the torpedoes. So we're getting closer to these enemy battleships up front. There's a New York, there's a New Mexico, and there's a Cleveland, I believe, is what is there at this time. So we're putting more shots into the enemy ships, trying to get them down. You can see by this time, the Allies are coming in from the other side. You know, they're moving over from west to east now, and they're sort of closing in the enemy. They're closing closing the trap, tightening the noose, and the enemy is going to start panicking here shortly. So this is really nice to see by the team, especially whenever you can see these sort of pincer moves that the team manages to pull off. It's always nice to see. So from here on in, things are going to be picking up quickly, escalating very fast. So Mouth continues to put shots into the enemy ships, you know, whatever enemy ship he can see and is in range of, which is obviously what you want to do. You can see he's also positioning his ship so that he's going to be coming around that last island there where the, I think it's New Mexico and that other ship are. This island I always find is the place where you're going to find the enemy carriers. They're always back in this corner. No surprise here, enemy carrier does show up. Now the team, you know, is closing in on that the pincer that that we've got going on right now, and they're taking out the remainder of the enemy ships, which is excellent. So now that leaves Mouth to focus on the New Mexico in front of him, and shortly the aircraft carrier that's going to pop up here. There he is. So we've got these 2 ships, but we cannot forget about this Isokaze here. Remember how I said he was going to be the bane of Mouth's existence? Yeah, we're getting to that point. So the biggest threat, obviously, in this situation is going to be the New Mexico. Taking some pot shots off at the aircraft carrier is not a bad call at all, because you never know, you might be able to one-shot him, and the New Mexico is currently engaged with another ally. Isokaze, there he is. He just shot a spread of 4 torpedoes. Mouth manages to dodge them all. Excellent, excellent job there. Keep in mind, it's not too hard to dodge torpedoes at further ranges, just simply by changing your course and not reverting back to the original course once you've done your maneuvers. So here you can see Isokaze kept that 1 torpedo spread in reserve and fired it there, but again, missed. Now the New Mexico is getting closer and closer. Torpedoes have just been launched by the torp bombers from the carrier. The New Mexico is still the primary threat here in this situation. He's the biggest ship, and I mean the guns on the New Mexico, and especially after the patch release with the upgrades, is just amazing. There we can see Mouth did take some torpedo hits, not a big problem though, immediately pressing the repair button and healing as well, so no big deal. New Mexico coming in, we have to do something about this New Mexico because we're brawling it out right now. More torpedoes coming in, blam, New Mexico is gone. That was amazing, that was 10,494 damage, earned Mouth the Confederate. Good job. Isokaze is still behind him, but now we've got this independence here in front of us, so we're going to take this guy out with the team's help, of course. And there's a high caliber that was earned from the secondary batteries, and Mouth manages another amazing torpedo dodge. So good job once again. Now I don't know if anyone has been counting, but I have. I counted in total 34 torpedoes that were launched at Mouth during the course of this game. Mouth manages to dodge 32 of those torpedoes, only taking 2 hits. So that was amazing. All told, we'd be looking at about 111,000 damage. Now, I don't have the final figures on this, and it's because you'll see the videos ending here shortly. When you do these replays, we don't get to see the final results screen, unfortunately. So I had to go through and add these numbers up. So I came up with 111,000 damage. Now, this is just from the main batteries. I probably missed a few, and I wasn't able to get the secondary battery um, damage done. Because, I mean, you know that the secondary batteries damaged the Isokase, they damaged the Independence, and they damaged New Mexico, and I don't know what those final figures are, but still, what a game by Mouth here. Um, you know, he only did get the one kill, but this is also a great example of, you know, showing how kills are not everything. In this, it's about damage done, right? Mouth did enough damage to earn himself High Caliber and Confederate. He did share with me as well, you know, that this was his first battle of the day, and I had said, you know, these types of battles are always amazing to have for your first battle. It sets sort of the tone for the rest of the day, and I don't know, it just sort of invigorates me. And then when I go into the next battle, I'm just, you know, kicking more ass than I was before. So that was Mouth 1313. It is New Mexico on New Dawn. Thanks again for sending in the replay, and if anyone else watching has a replay they want to send in, take a look at the comments below the video. I do have my my email address in there, and you're more than welcome to send me a comment. Alternatively, I also have the link to An Evening with Thotgor. That is my thread on the World of Warships forum. Feel free to check that out as well. It's also got all of my videos, and if you want some, you know, ask some questions or post some comments, feel free to do so as well. So that's it for today, a bit of a shorter video, but just before we go, I do have a public service announcement, we'll call it. So, I don't know if any of you recall Gamgoon. He and I are doing some collaboration videos, and in fact on Saturday and Sunday this week, so that's tomorrow if you're watching it today on Friday. What is the date tomorrow? Let me take a look here. The date tomorrow is the 22nd, so on August 22nd and August 23rd, Gamgoon is going to be live streaming World of Warships. I'll put his Twitch channel in the comments as well. The time, so on Saturday, Gamgoon will be streaming from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Sunday he'll be going from about 2 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. So Gamgoon will be streaming during those times. Be sure to check it out, and don't be surprised if you see me in there as well. I'm going to try and play as much as I possibly can with him during those streaming times, so, you know, be sure to check it out. And again, I've got Gamgoon's link to his Twitch channel in my comments. So thanks so much for watching today, guys, and as always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.